Glenn, it has to be a little different coming into an OU weekend with y'all already having a win against them and their only loss.
Yeah, first time ever, I think, but don't play them much outside of conference anyway. So, yeah, it's a little different, but we're focusing on this weekend. This is a conference, and this is what really matters. So, this is where the important part starts.
As far as the pitching, obviously the win played a big part last week. Are you concerned at all or that they can get back to where they were?
No, I think we've been out there enough to know that that's what happens out there, and very few pitchers go to Lubbock that don't have their ERA damaged a little bit, and that's a little bit a compliment to their offense this year out there, and a lot of the compliment to the park and how it plays out there with wind and plays really small. I think we hit 7 home runs on the weekend, where it's a third of our home runs we hit out there. Remember one year going out there and hitting 9, and you don't see that here, obviously, so it plays just the opposite.
I'd say that weekend in Stillwater, I don't know if you lost the game against a ranked opponent. What's allowed you guys to have so much success in those games against top competition?
Yeah, well, even the game in Stillwater, on Friday we had 2 runs taken off the board that would have given us the win, and we ended up depleting our pitching. So still a little bit of a sore spot, if you don't mind me saying. So I thought we competed well out there, and I think the girls came out of that weekend feeling like, hey, we just knocked off the number 2 team in the country, and that was the way we chose to look at it anyway. And I just think this team is very focused on doing what they can do and not as much the opponent, and they know their opponent, obviously. We look at film, and they're smart, high IQ with this team, so they're going to know who they're playing and what they're up against. But each week they choose to go out and play their style of play and live up to their standards they've set for themselves.
In the rare game where someone goes into a game against OU with a winning strategy, do you follow the exact same thing pitch for pitch, or do you feel a little bit of pressure to maybe change it up a little bit?
Well, again, our winning strategy was to play the ball that we had been playing and continue to play. This is one of the most consistent teams I've coached. We've had some ups and downs, of course, but it's been very consistent across the board, and I think that was our strategy then. It was early in the year, and I've always told our team to make sure that if a team that may be more talented than you doesn't bring their A game, make sure you're in a position to knock them off. And whether that was the case then or not, I don't know, but I know we were on our best game, and we took advantage of every opportunity we had in that game, and certainly not going to sneak up on anybody now, and I don't think we have for a few weeks now.
Glenn, is this OU team, is it similar to ones they had, or are they stronger in any areas? Or
their pitching's just phenomenal pitching, and you just can't make a lot of mistakes defensively on that side of the ball. You can't give them extra outs, and because they're not going to give them to you. It's not going to be a fair exchange. They're a great team offensively. I would guess they're similar to the typical OU team. They're in number 1, and there's a pretty big gap between number 1 and number 2, as we saw when we did beat them last year, earlier in the year, what they did to UCLA when they went out to California. So they're capable of doing that. They're a strong team, but we're going to focus on what we do and not what they do, because we can't control what they do. We can only be prepared to play our best ball, and if the opportunities present themselves, we need to be in a position to take advantage of that. So that's where our focus is going to lie.
Part of it was the win, Anna getting going like that. How nice was that to see her, do that and then get Big 12 Player of the Week?
Yeah, she's such a competitor. She brings her A game every time she's on the field, and if she has a bad game, somebody's beating her, and she's going to make adjustments. But it's not going to be because she's not prepared, not educated on what we're about or what we're trying to do. She's going to be prepared for that game, and whatever role I ask her to play, she's ready to step in and play it. And not a big surprise to me that kind of week, because she's shown moments of brilliance, quite a few, quite honestly, starting really with the middle of last year's season and then finishing strong at the NISC tournament where she hit, I think, 3 home runs out there, 2 or 3 anyway. Had just a really good tournament. And this just really, she hasn't skipped a beat offensively anyway. Defensively, we don't always play her on the field because we have some talent out there that might edge her out in certain aspects of the game from time to time, but I feel very confident with her there as well. But some people can't do that. They can't separate the two and need to be in the game all the time, and she just has accepted whatever role is best for the team and played it well.
What do you expect the atmosphere to be like this weekend at Getterman?
I think it'll be a regional atmosphere. I'm going to talk to the team about that today because I want them to embrace that atmosphere. It's going to be a Baylor crowd, predominantly a Baylor crowd, and we need to feed off of that and treat it as if we're playing well enough at the end that the committee sees to give us a host site. So we're hoping for that still, and if we do, we're going to have an atmosphere identical to what we're going to see this weekend.
Glenn, Shaylin had a big weekend. How have you seen her kind of come back from that shoulder injury, and obviously how important is it to have her at her best in the lineup?
She continues to amaze me, playing with an arm injury like that and continuing to get out there and play defense and offense and never even talk about it. But, you know, she's playing in pain many times, and sometimes she plays in pain because of an at-bat, but she wants to be on the field, and she's given everything she's got. And she's still a huge threat and can do a lot of things. Mechanically I can see some things that have changed a little bit that she's had to adjust to, but teams still don't like to pitch to her.
What did she do? I thought it was more of a shoulder, but it's more of an arm.
Well, it's shoulder. It is a
Shoulder.
shoulder. I may have said arm, but it's a shoulder. She torn labrum,
Okay.
and she's been playing with that, which is, I've had several players play with torn labrums, and it really is a pain tolerance. You're not going to do any more damage to it. So if you can endure the pain, you can continue to play. And she's a tough kid because she's out there in a very painful situation more often than not and continuing to stay in the game. And we need her. I'd never ask a kid to play injured in a way that would keep her, damage her down the road, but we've been assured that it will not cause any more damage, and we'll do something at the end of the season. But she's been performing now for quite a while at a high level with a very painful injury.
Is your team different now than that first game against Oklahoma?
Yeah, I think we've just really built a lot of confidence. Obviously, we had Aaliyah Benford in our lineup, which was a key member of our pitching staff, and obviously offensively as well. But we've grown from that. It is anytime you have a sucker punch like that right away, it's going to take a little while to adjust. But I think this team has accepted this is who we are and who we're going to be right now. Let's move forward, and we've had some big wins since then.
Well, I guess it doesn't come any bigger than playing OU at home on a 3-day series.
Right. We're excited to play them again back home. We're 1-0 with them. It's always fun to play the number one team in the nation, and we're excited to play. Pumped and ready to go.
Is it kind of weird going into an OU game where they're the ones looking for revenge over you?
I don't know. It gives us a cool little leg up this time. We're, again, like I said, we're 1-0, so I think they're the ones that are a little intimidated at this point.
Intimidated. Okay.
It's 2 months ago, but what do you remember about that win and what y'all did well to get the win?
What I remember about that win for sure is that it was a team win. We worked all together to get past a big obstacle at the start of our season against them. So I think what was the main key factor was that we played as a team.
What got you going this past week? Was that West Texas wind? Or?
Oh, yeah, for sure. The wind
Yeah.
wind definitely helped a lot.
Yeah.
As you could tell, all three of those games was an offensive production game. But what got me going and what continues to get me going is my team and my family and the support of them, and as well as God. I mean, that win, he gave me the power and strength, and through the wind, I was able to produce for my team. So.
Anna, just talk about winning the award, the Big 12 Player of the Week. Just what does that mean to you?
It doesn't mean everything, but it's an awesome recognition that I get to receive. Again, it's something that you don't expect, but being recognized by the committee or whoever nominates you for the player of the week, it's nice to see. But again, I wouldn't be able to get there without the support of my friends and family and teammates and the power of God. So.
You feel like you are coming together offensively now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Last weekend was a big step for us offensively. We were not rusty, but getting back in that offensive speed and production coming into this weekend for sure was empowering.
How do you beat OU again?
How? Grit, teamwork, win each pitch, win each out, each inning, just fight to the finish, you know?
Anna, how have you seen Shaylin kind of come back from a little bit of a stinger injury? Obviously, she had a big weekend as well.
Right, yes. She's determined, you know. She's already suffered an injury in her previous early collegiate career, so she knows what it takes, but definitely facing an injury, it's hard, but she's getting through it. She's determined to help the team no matter what.
Well, what's it going to take to beat OU again, do you think?
Well, I just think if we just keep playing how we've been playing, the pressure's not on us this weekend because, as Anna said, we have the upper hand. The pressure's on them to keep their number one spot. So I think if we just relax and have fun and play how we've been playing as a team, we're going to be just fine.
How much do you take what you did from 2 months ago, and how much do you realize that you guys are probably a little bit different on teams, just in general?
I mean, I think what we can take is that we are the same team. And like we know what we're capable of in our own backyard. But I think that we need to come in pretty fresh and realize that it's a new game and that we can't relax, that we need to play to how we know we're capable of playing.
How rewarding is it to look at Oklahoma's record and know that one on the right-hand side is you?
I mean, it's pretty awesome, but I mean, I like to focus more on us. It's nice that we're the only team that's taken them down, but I'm not so concerned of giving them another L over giving us another W. So I think we're all kind of locked into our own record and our own conference record and making ours look a little bit better.
But why do you feel like the offense is coming together like it has?
Because we're a good hitting team. And, you know, sometimes good hitting teams, we go through ups and downs, and right now we're in one of our ups. And I think that what better time to be in an up than coming into having the number one team in our backyard.
To say, except for that weekend in Stillwater, you guys were pretty good against ranked teams this year. What do you think has allowed you guys to have that level of success against top competition?
Just confidence and trust in our teammates that's been big this year as we've all been able to, you know, lean on one another. If the offense is down, our defense and our pitching comes in clutch, and vice versa. So I think that that's a big one, and I think that our focus also being on God has taken a lot of pressure off of us and has allowed us to, you know, play freely and have fun out there on the field.
With the pitchers, you just tell them to shake off this last weekend, you know, to kind of put that behind them, or I guess that, you know, they did grit through and get, you know, how many ever wins that y'all got last week?
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't even really had to tell them to, because what's so great about our pitching staff is what great composure they have. So I haven't had to tell them, oh, just shake it, because they know to shake it and they know what they're capable of, and they're not scared because of this past weekend, and they're not scared to face the number one team. So, I mean, I have all the confidence in the world in them. So.
As a catcher, has to wear all that equipment. Was there a worse weekend than the one where you have to be in it for 50 runs worth of games?
Yeah, I certainly got my workout in, but fortunately the weather was nice. We got a little breeze going, a big breeze going. I'm sure you've all heard how windy it is up there in West Texas, but
Dusty too.
dusty, yeah.
Series is sold out. How nice would that be to have great crowds, great atmosphere here?
Yeah, I mean, what better place to play than a sold-out stadium, and especially at our home field. So I know we're excited. We feed off the energy of our fans. Even we feed off the energy of the other fans. We just like noise. It's going to be a fun environment, and we can't be more excited.
Sydney, how proud are you of Anna for getting Big 12 Player of the Week?
Yeah, she's awesome. She really stepped up for the team this weekend. I mean, we've had a little rotation going on with the outfield and the DP position, and she hasn't let it, you know, negatively affect her the games that she hasn't been in, and every game she has been in, she's stepped up and done her job. So I couldn't be more proud, and she's very, very deserving of that reward.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Sid.
Thank you. Appreciate it.